Alright, now we'll work on our orders page. So I have added a couple of orders so that we can see those on orders page. We'll simply close all pages. Let's go to our orders page. Alright, here we are going to override on initialized async. And here, first thing we need our auth state here. Auth state, we'll call it auth state only. We'll check if we are logged in or not. So for this, we'll simply say if auth state dot is logged in. If this is not true, that means not auth state dot logged in, we'll simply going to navigate user back to the login page. For that, we need to inject our navigation manager. Here we'll have if await we'll say MAUI interrupt dot confirm async. The message will say you need to be logged in to be logged in to view your orders. Okay, then we'll simply say, do you want to go to login page? Okay, here we'll say title will be just login required, right? And if user pressed yes, we'll say navigation manager dot navigate to slash login. But after logging in, we want user to come back to this orders page only. That means we'll set auth state dot redirect URL from login. We'll say slash orders this page. Okay, and here we'll simply set replace to true. Save it. Cool, and then just return from here. No need to do anything. Now if that's not the case, user is logged in. Okay, or maybe if user said no, then also we should return. Let's not have this return here, we will return here. All right, then we are going to have our list of orders. So we'll say private order DTO underscore orders equals blank. Okay, all right, then inside this on initializing only, we will show login that loader. So for that, we'll inject our app state. We'll say app state. So here, let's create a helper method. We'll say private async task load orders async. Here we'll say app state dot show loader. Then we are going to have try finally, maybe we'll say in finally we'll say app state dot hide loader, and in try we are going to say await orders API. Let's inject our order API. Inject I order API. This order API we are going to say await order API dot get user orders async. Not order items, just user orders. We need to provide user ID. Do we really need to provide user ID? No, right? We can get user ID information from the currently logged in users information from claims identity. But if we have implemented it, let's pass this. So we have user ID in auth state dot user dot ID. We have it. Then we have start index and page size. So here you can implement paging. It's up to you if you want to have previous buttons, or you want to have maybe endless scrolling. So it's up to you. I'm not going to implement it because the series is already very long. So it is up to you. I have shown you everything what you can do. Maybe this is an assignment for you. You can try it. And if something is not working, you can drop me a comment and I'll be more than happy to help you. All right. So here we'll start index 0. and for page size, let's get top 50 orders. Now it returns as order DTO, array of order DTO, right? So we have underscore orders. We are going to have orders in this underscore orders. Then from here, we'll simply call this load orders async like this. Now we are good. We have our orders ready. We can start showing these orders. Now for this UI, we can, I don't know what we'll display here. We can maybe have order number and the total amount for that order and the number of items in that order. Maybe first, let's say div class. We are going to have a container with py3 to have some spacing from top, or maybe py2. Inside this, we are going to have div class row. Then we are going to have div class called 12. Maybe before this, we can simply say if the underscore orders dot length equals 0, we will have div class call, let's say maybe 10. Okay, and inside this 10, we are just going to have simple message that there are no orders, or maybe we can have this similar to what we have on cart page. Let's copy that from cart page. So if we go to our cart page here, if we don't have any item in the cart, we show this thing, right? So let's copy this and put it here. Okay, no items in the cart. Here we'll say no orders yet, something like this. And then we can say view products. Just simple thing. Nothing fancy, nothing else. Cool. After this, we will come to the else case and we are going to have our list of orders here. Alright. So in this call 12, first thing we can maybe have pg white, or maybe inside this we are going to have same ul or just list of div text. Let's have ul class list unstyled, all right. Here we are going to have a for each var o in underscore orders. Here we are going to have li. My god, why it happens with me? All right, on li we are going to have class same border bottom and mb3. Save it, and on this li only let's have pg white here with p3 as well. Save it. Now here we need to have our order information. We have in this order detail, let's see what all we have. We have id, date, total amount, remark, status, address name, total items. So we have date. We can say order. Okay, we should have some order number as well. Okay, maybe this is also an assignment for you guys, so you can maybe implement order number functionality as well. So with the id you will have order number as well. Now for generating order numbers, you can simply have some sequential numbering, or the format of that, it totally depends how you are building it. Some people have month wise order number, some people have year wise, so it could be something like, or some not random but some sequential number also. So it's up to you how you're planning it. Right now I'm just want to see. So for status, I'm going to show status, total amount, date, and maybe id and total amount items. Okay, let's do this. here we are going to have, first we are going to have a div with the class display flex, class equals dflex. Inside this we are going to say justify content center, sorry, not center, between, okay. Then align items center. Here we are going to first have a div where we are going to have all our information. Let's say order info, and here we will have flex grow 1 so that it takes the entire space. And on the right side we will have the simple I tag. If you remember, on maybe on profile page or manage addresses page, we have that chevron right icon, right? This one, we can have this icon here, okay. Hmm, this code, and it is keep on going next. Oh, I don't know why it is going there. Come back, do this, save it. Now here we need to provide our information. Okay, so here let's do first, and mostly we'll have our label, class, order. We have order ID, but which should have been order number as well, but we'll say hash and then o dot id. Okay, this is our order ID. Now on this label we can maybe have h4 with the text app primary. Okay, after this, what else we checked? Date, total amount, status, and total, right? Let's show status as pill. So now on this order DTO, let's have a computed property. We'll say public string status color class, something like this. Okay, and here we will simply say status switch, and we are going to have some color schemes here. So first we'll say name of, what was the order status, right? Order status dot, we have placed, deliver, rejected on all this. So let's say if the order is placed, then we'll simply return success, or not success, let's maybe have, I don't know, primary. Let's duplicate it multiple times. After placed we are going to have accepted. If accepted, let's say we'll have warning, so yellowish color. Then we have rejected. For rejected we are going to use danger, which is red color. Then for delivered we are going to have success, which is greenish color. Then what else we have? Accepted, rejected, placed, delivered. We have all these four. If nothing from these, we'll simply say underscore equals, let's have some bg info, which is going to be some default address or maybe just secondary, so that grayish kind of color. Okay, so status color class, we don't want this property to be travel through the network, so we just need it on UI, so we can simply have JSON ignore on this. Save it. Now we are here. Inside this label we will add the badge. Okay, we have that badge on our manage address page for our default thing, right here, this one. We'll simply copy this span here. After this label we are going to have this span ms3 badge rounded pill bg. Now this success, these are those classes which I just added. So here we'll say o dot status color class. Okay, and then here we can simply say at the rate o dot status. The status text is also going to be shown here. Save it. Now we have our order ID. Then we'll simply show our order date. Okay, let's do this. Here I'm going to have a div class display flex justify content between align items and have this label as the first left section. On the right section we'll have a date. So here again one label, and inside this we'll say o dot date dot toString. Here we can show it in any format. I'll maybe show it in dd, mmm, yyyy, and hhmm. This also we can say tt for am. Let's do this. So this is the order date. After this we are going to have one more div where we are going to show the total amount and total number of items. Right, so total amount and total number of items, these two things we are going to show here. Let's have, I don't know why it is just keep on going to the right side. You see why it is going there? Formatting is very bad. Let's we close orders page and open it again. Orders page will not help. Okay, let it go. Let go with the flow. So here inside this only, let's have one more div. Inside this we are going to have a label. We'll say total items, and we'll say o dot total items, o dot total items. Or maybe for these also we can have left side and right side. I don't know, we can just try this thing only. This one, class, and this thing justify align items center, so they're vertically centered only. And inside this we are going to have two labels. First we'll say total amount. Here we'll say o dot total amount dot, we can simply convert it to currency. Then we have total items to 5 or 10, whatever it is. Total items, this will be right aligned, this will be left aligned. On the total items we can have class text app primary, we can have fw bold, and on order number also we can have fw bold, so font bold. Cool, save it. And on total items let's have it as class text secondary. And on date let's have text app primary only, text app primary. Right now I just want to see how these are looking. Let's quickly start the app. And we have some error here, and opening is this and closing is not there. We have only one closing, we should have two closings. Then what else? Error list, this expected on this line only, which is fine. Curly braces, where we have for each closed here, we have else closed here, we have if started from here closed here. Like we are good. Let's try again. Orders, and we have this ugly looking section, but we can see placed, everything we can see, total items, total. The design is what we have designed, but we just need to work on this more. Maybe let's have first line will have just this order number and this status, that only. And starting from the second line we are going to have all these things. Maybe the this date, it should be in the second line. Then we are going to have total amount and total items here, and then on the right side we can maybe have a button to view order info or something like that. Although we have this visual indicator, maybe in that case we can simply remove this visual indicator, this right chevron. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, first line with this only, second line with this order date, and third line with two columns. Basically in first column this total amount and total items, and second column here we will have view order info, something like this. Okay, so here in first line we are going to have just this, so let's get it outside of this div. I'm not happy with this. This label, it should be outside of this here. Label. Then we have this div where we are going to have, or after this label, we are going to have one more label for our date. Then we are going to have this div with justify content between and align item center. And both of these things we are going to have in a separate div. And then we are going to have a button, simple button, type button, and then class. We can have rbtn app. Here we can say view order info, something like this. Save it. Did we break something? Let me do this. Let me have this entire if, and let's have everything left aligned, and then we'll start moving things right. So let's have this ul, then we have this if case from li start to li end, then we have this div. After this div we have this div. Okay, then we have this first label, then we have this span, so let's move this span to the right, and the second label, then we have this div. It started from here, then so that means this div, this button, then we have these two labels, this div, I div, and li. I think we are good. What is not matching here? Everything is matching, right? Div, label, label. Save. Let's try to run if we are able to run it. If there is some problem with this markup, it will simply tell us. Let's see. So app is here, build is successful. Maybe this is the classic Visual Studio issues. We can see this. Let's go to orders, and orders are here. Looks like this is not an error. Okay, now let's try to make this again something different. We can remove this thing. Let's remove this. Then this label text app primary for our 8, we need it in the next line, so we can say display block. It will be in the next line, and then we have this button where we are saying align items center, justify content between. Yes, why this is breaking in two lines? Because this is, let's just say view info. Okay, let's see how it looks after this. Or maybe after these two labels we can have a small hr here. Save. Let's restart. Apps here, orders, fetching the orders, and we can see these. Better than before, not very good, but at least better than before. Okay, in this case, let's move this view info button to the top section, right? Maybe it will look good then. And then this total items, it should be in the next line. Total items, this thing. Here also we can simply have the block here. Let's do this. Let's try to design this now in our browser console. So we'll change at only once. So let's come here, div, this button, this div. On the second one, we simply can have display block. So the block, it is in the next line. I think we are good with this. No? What do you say? We are good with this. Just these colors, all these are text primary, so that's why these are looking not looking that good. If we have the default colors, let's try to have just default colors. We'll have just order number, we'll have this thing. Apart from this, we'll have the default colors and view info, let's leave it here only. But for this HR, it has a lot of margin. So on this margin also, we'll simply have, let's say, only 5 pixel margin. Maybe let's increase this 5, 8 pixel, maximum 8 pixel. So like this only. Let's try this. So here we have HR style. We'll say margin 0 pixel and 8 pixel. Okay. Then on this thing we have D block, which is fine. We have this thing, which is fine. Then text type primary on this thing, it is good. Then here we will have for the date, we are going to have the default. And for these things also, the total amount and total items, we are not going to use those colors. Let's try this now. This first if also, let's have this in span, the hash and order number. Save it. Save. Now we have this h4, right? So let's have this h4 on this span, internal span. We'll say class h4 and fw bold on this one. And same this text type primary also we can have on this span only. Save it. Let's restart. Now we should be good. So this is how it looks now. Better than before, but we can have this margin. This is not much. Oh, we did 0 and 8. So 8px and 0. Let's have this. And then this placed, this should be on the top side. ms3, let's not have it as ms3. Instead, let's have maybe ms1, or we have these two spans now. So on this label, we can have it as display flex, justify, not have justify, just align items start, and we can have a gap of 2. Save it. Let's restart. Okay, it is looking better than before. All right. Cool. So that means we are good with this page now. Now we'll work on the order details page. So we can tap on this view info. It should lead us to the order details page, or we'll have it something like this. We can click anywhere and it will lead us to the next page. That is what we are going to work next.